With Freakier Friday out, I figured why not rank every single Freaky Friday movie? And yes, there are 5 movies. 1976, 1995, 2000s, 2018, and 2025. Let's rank them all.
Disney Channel presents
Do you have an explanation for this? You are grounded for a month.
Freaky Friday.
Now, don't get me wrong, I am a musical person. I always enjoy a musical. So I figured the musical aspect in this movie could have worked. But the musical aspect instead was probably the worst decision they could have done for this. Where every single song feels completely pointless, lazy, and random. Like the first song, I could have sworn that the lips didn't even line up with what they were saying. It's quite clear that these songs were recorded in different booths by different people. And they just threw it into the movie over the people trying to lip sync. And it just doesn't really line up. And with that, the songs are not catchy, they're not written good, they feel random. But it is still that classic Freaky Friday style. I just like the story of Freaky Friday. Although it can get repetitive, although it can get old, I still enjoy it, and that's still in this film enough. Although the writing's bad, the acting's bad, and the songs are bad, I find some enjoyment out of it just because of that Freaky Friday formula. But this is not a good movie. It's just trying to be a musical, and it just ends up not working by the end. And it just makes it come off as a very interesting, forgettable Freaky Friday movie. It took a risk, didn't work, and now it's forgettable. Now let me just say that this is an extremely hard movie to figure out how and where to watch it, because, to my knowledge, it's a TV movie. I don't know how many times it's aired on TV back in 1995, but it's nowhere now. No physical release, no streaming release, nothing. It just disappeared from existence, and it's only but a memory in our heads. But it was on the list of Freaky Friday movies out, so I kind of had to find a place to watch it. I eventually did, and it's good, but not great. I watched this movie right after I watched the 1976 version, and there are a lot of similarities between the two. Now, I'm not talking about the Freaky Friday formula, because that's every single movie on this list. I'm talking about how the characters are named the exact same characters as the 1976 film, and almost every plot beat, every scene, seems like a shot-for-shot remake, but they just changed a few things up, so it wasn't. Instead of water skiing, she's diving into a pool. They might sound completely different when I say it out loud, but in the events of the movie, they're almost exactly the same, the conflicts are almost exactly the same, and the stakes are the same. It just feels like the same exact movie as that 1976 film, but like I mentioned before, since I like that Freaky Friday formula, it all works for me by the end. It's also just nice seeing a Freaky Friday movie every decade. Well, almost every decade. We got one in 1976, that was that decade. We got one in 1995, that's this decade. So it's just nice seeing how time has progressed throughout each Freaky Friday movie, and we now get a modernized version of it almost every single decade, just to see what it would look like in modern time. So I can appreciate that factor, although that's not this movie, that's kind of just the whole franchise, but this movie still gave me that, even right after watching the 1976 version, so that was really fresh in my mind at that moment. If you haven't seen this one, you're not missing much. If you do watch it, it's enjoyable. If you haven't watched it, nothing to go rush and watch.
It's Freaky Friday, a real comedy switch from Walt Disney Productions.
But real quick, if you want to help me reach my goal of 1K by the end of the year, consider subscribing. Let's continue. Now, I mainly grew up on the 2000s Freaky Friday, so I was really looking forward into seeing what the original Freaky Friday movie that started it all, what was it? And it's solid. It has that classic Freaky Friday formula, so it has the same vibe as every Freaky Friday movie. I was expecting something to be drastically different, but I'm surprised it was pretty similar. For a Freaky Friday movie that really started it all, it's pretty solid. I can say that the third act felt kind of Looney Tunes-ish, like I was watching a live-action Looney Tunes episode, because there's this whole police chase where the police cars are actually turning into triangles when they go down the tunnel or being split in half. That is not realistic. That is very much Looney Tunes. It could be because Disney Channel back then was more this style, cartoonish like this. But for the first Freaky Friday movie, it's solid and still in the top 3 Freaky Friday movies. It's just a Freaky Friday movie, but older. It was modern then, not modern now, and it's just nice seeing how much time has changed from then to now. But for this movie being made in the 1970s, it still has a lot to offer. If you haven't seen this one is definitely worth checking out just because it started it all. And it's nice seeing how much it has differed from then to now.
Dr. Coleman? Oh my God, Cole! That's my therapist!
And that's where we get our newest installment, Freakier Friday. Where even after 20 years, from that 2000s film to the sequel, it still feels like the exact same movie. It feels like this sequel was really 2 years after the original, just for how accurate it is and how much it still feels like that original film. All the comedy is still there, the actors feel like they never left in the first place, and it just doesn't feel like it's been 20 years later. But what makes this movie stand out more is that instead of that classic Freaky Friday formula where it's the mother and daughter swapping just because of their conflict with each other, this time we get that family swap, where 4 characters are now switching places with each other, and because of that, we get this whole new storyline in here that was not in the original film or in any Freaky Friday film, so it's now adding a whole new layer to it all. Although it is predictable, we obviously know how it's going to end. We don't really go into this expecting an unpredictable story. It's very much a coming-of-age story, but because of that extra layer in the story, it makes the heartfelt moments at the end of the movie have more impact and feel new, because we haven't gotten a story like that in the Freaky Friday franchise. So for a sequel 20 years later, it still brings us everything we loved about that original 2000s film. I grew up on that 2000s film. This sequel offered everything I wanted from it, and is very much on the same par as the original film, just not better.
I'm old! I beg your pardon? Oh, I'm like the Crypt Keeper!
Freaky Friday.
Easily the best Freaky Friday movie. Now yes, I understand it uses a lot of the same plot points that every single Freaky Friday movie has had, but Freaky Friday is known for the comedy of these 2 characters swapping lives and seeing the aftermath of that play out. And of course, the heartfeltness at the end. Just the chemistry of Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis is what makes it stand out significantly more than any other Freaky Friday movie, because you can just feel their mother-daughter dynamic, and even when they switch lives, they still have that dynamic because of the comedic moments. The comedic moments in here are 10 times funnier than any other Freaky Friday movie, just because their personalities are completely different from each other. Every other Freaky Friday movie, I feel like there's always a hint of them in that character, but this one, they're completely different, and seeing these characters completely act out of character is the funniest thing to watch. And even when we do get to the ending and the heartfelt moments, thanks to their bond, you feel the more emotional weight. Just because you're building out this mother-daughter dynamic throughout the entire movie, when it's finally paid off by the end, you feel that heart, making it the best Freaky Friday movie. And since I have nostalgia for it, it kind of boosted up a bit more. But anyways, if you liked this video, maybe leave those on the side ones to you too. Like, subscribe. See you guys next time. Goodbye.